2018 has been a rather wonky year for not only me, but many other people, it seems. For me, this year has been a roller coaster. I spent this whole time figuring out a specific flow that works really well for me without exactly faltering. And of course, I failed. I tripped up along the way, I crashed into walls, I got lost on my little path, but I think I am close to something that will work well for me, or at least a good goal plan, and thus the reason for this little video. It's going to serve as a reminder for me and sort of blackmail leverage for anybody else to hold over my head whenever I trip and fall again. I have 3 specific goals I have in mind, and I will spend this whole year to achieve it in any way possible. There won't be any major need to rely on any growing support here or elsewhere. Of course, it will be nice, but I will still go through with everything whether or not I stay under the radar. These things are more for my own self-improvement rather than any hope for growing popularity. If down the line I end up turning around and I see more and more people following me, supporting me, or anything like that, then that will be an added bonus. Like an icing to a cupcake, so any of you future followers stumbling onto this video, thank you, and I hope I don't disappoint you guys in the long run. My first goal will involve me speaking out more often and more clearly, perhaps improving on my speech, as sometimes my phrases will end up confusing not only the listener, but the speaker as well. I've already started doing this with a few of my previous videos, but it's not constant. I only faltered because of my lame excuses like depression and procrastination, as well as other excuses of not knowing what I can make as a speed painting. I could use my fan works, however sometimes I feel it's unfitting to the topic at hand, but if I end up getting more popular, I actually might ask my followers if they have any characters for specific themes or specific topics that they don't mind me using for the speed painting video in general. Not only will I strive for more speaking videos, I will actually try to voice act a few things and practice some improv here and there. But for the most part, I don't think this is a high focus for me. I mean, speaking on voice acting, I will have another YouTube account that will be worked upon with my best friend and partner in crime, Shard. We will be striving to dub over some comics, voice act silly little skits, or create oddball animation meme bits. The comics will be done with permission by the original creator, as well as a strict non-monetization on our videos as well. On our videos, as we want to do this for fun. If people want to support us down the line and say we are doing a good job or something, we will figure out a way. But for now, we will stick with just this and only focus on making this our little fun hobby. Another goal will have to involve my comic projects. I have a few in the works. Some of them are just going to be short fan comics, but one of them is more of a longer term and may or may not come to be, only because I actually wanted to involve my viewers to have them influence how specific things will play out. It would have been similar to how people would submit asks on Tumblr and have the characters respond to the situation at hand, like to the comment, or similar to the asks on Tumblr, talking to the characters for responses or asking them to do specific things like tending to specific situations on hand. I would have relied on Tumblr for the whole reaction thing. However, knowing how I want to put this comic on possibly Tapas or DeviantArt, I think if I just relied on Tumblr and the Ask system, I think I will be overwhelmed and might end up dealing with some asks where people would complain so much about how they are feeling ignored or missed out. In fact, what you are seeing right now is actually a concept for the interactive comic. And yes, this is Undertale related. More info on that in the future, more or less in the next video per se, but this is more of a concept and I would love to play with it, even if there is a huge possibility that this will just be scrapped. And finally, I would love to get some coloring pages out there for people to use, whether it's for relaxation or if it's some sort of coloring practice. This will not be for people to make and sell adoptables for any reason. I mean, if there were a more higher demand for that, then I can consider it. However, I know there are plenty of people who has made bases for adoptables, and it's just, I don't want to be a dime a dozen for that sort of thing. I don't know what kind of things I will have as coloring pages yet, but I hope I can figure out something soon enough. Right now, I'm actually going to do 2 trial run coloring pages and see how that turns out. Maybe to iron out a little style for this sort of thing. I have thoughts about these kind of goals and how they will be involved in something like Patreon. So this will be saved for the next video, especially since there are quite a bit of ruckus these past few months about it. Hopefully I can iron something out by then.